today, wrapping up this deep dive on Texas corporations. And the last thing I was going to talk about in this video series was partnerships and the difference between partnerships and other types of corporate formation. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm acknowledging the things that are really testing our nation right now, and that is the tragic death of Mr. Floyd in the state of Minnesota, and hoping that it brings about sweeping change across the United States and how we treat each other, and that we all remember that we need to heal, that we need to unify, and that the great motto of our country is that out of many we are one. And I'm a big believer in that. And also want to acknowledge our friends and neighbors who are still suffering from this coronavirus pandemic, and hoping that we are rounding the corner and that all of us can continue to, find ways to provide for our family, and that we can overcome this just daunting economic challenge. So we're thinking about all of you who are suffering through both those things right now. This deep dive on Texas corporations has gone through several video series, but I'm wrapping it up today. And, I talked about the difference between incorporated entities, sole proprietorships, LLCs, and LPs. And LPs being a limited partnership or some sort of a partnership. Now, partnerships in Texas require a lot more governance than an LLC does. It is a hybrid, like a sole proprietorship and a business, like the LLC is. You don't have to have corporate meeting minutes, but the filing fees are higher and the transparency is higher, and there's just more maintenance to limited partnerships in the state of Texas. And like any other entity, they have to file their annual reports. So the annual reports are, due to the comptroller, and I'll do a little bonus content in the next video segment where I'm going to talk some more about that. But the bottom line is that the limited partnership requires a little more maintenance. It's got a higher filing fee, a little more transparency, but it runs essentially like a sole proprietorship. You don't have to have officers. You don't have to have meeting minutes. You don't have to have quarterly meetings and agendas and votes recorded and stocks issued. You can do those things, but you're not required to generally under state law. Partnerships are great when, there's a large asset like a family farm. You've got something like 400 acres and you want to create a partnership to make sure that every member of the family has a piece of that limited partnership, and also so that those large tracts of land can stay together as parents pass away and grandparents pass away. Well, that tract of land stays together, and the percentage of that partnership is what's transferred, instead of requiring that the land be subdivided or sold, or you've got to buy out so-and-so. It can be a vehicle for simplicity and ease in things like large family tracts, lots of rental properties, things like that.